Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm here with 10 different ways that you can save money at Walt Disney World. So obviously going to Disney World can be very expensive, especially coming internationally. It can get so pricey, and I'm sure obviously coming from the US as well, it's still very expensive for you as well. But I thought I would give some of you some tips that might help you save a couple of dollars or pounds in the parks before you book your holiday. Going to Disney World, you're going to have to spend a lot of money, so these aren't like how to get a free holiday to Disney World, because trust me, I would be all over that. But if you're just looking to save a few dollars here and there, then this might be useful for you. If you've never been to Disney World before, then this will probably be much more useful for you than someone who's been 2 million times, because I'm sure people who have been to Disney World over and over again probably know most, if not all, of these tips. So I'm going to get right on into it, and starting with number 1, my first tip on how to save a bit of money in Disney World is to book your holiday early. And what I mean by this, especially if you're coming from the UK, I don't really know what deals are like in other countries, but if you want to stay on site at Disney World, if you book from the UK, you can benefit from free dining. So for example, right now, if you book your 2018 holiday, I believe it's the whole of 2018, I could be wrong, but if you book your 2018 holiday from now, usually all the way until, I found it to be the start of November, you will benefit from free dining throughout your entire stay. Now, right now you can book it and also get a $200 gift card. It will eventually go down to a $100 gift card, and then it will eventually go down to just free dining. So the earlier you book it, the more you will benefit from the gift cards as well, which will be great for spending money within the parks. Obviously, depending on what tier of resort you're staying at, so if you're staying at a value, moderate, deluxe, you will get a different dining plan. Value, currently for the UK, you do not get a dining plan, but I believe you do get a free breakfast. If you are at a moderate, you get the free quick service dining plan, and if you are at a deluxe or a DVC resort, then you get a free standard dining plan. I love the standard dining plan. We had that for free last year when we stayed at Saratoga Springs. This year we got a quick service dining plan chucked in with our reservation because we're at Caribbean Beach, and we upgraded that. It costed us about £180 each to upgrade to the standard dining plan, which I would 100% recommend. But if you're looking to save a bit of money, then quick service is perfectly fine. And again, I don't know what it's like for other countries, but the US, they tend to release it the same year and it's particular dates. So if you're going to one of the resorts in one of the dates that they have released, I believe you can call up and you can still benefit from that free dining, so keep that in mind. Obviously, if you don't stay in Disney World, because that's also an option, costs will come down then. So if you're not looking at staying in Walt Disney World and you're going to stay in an off-site hotel or a villa, it's going to be significantly cheaper. We stayed in villas for the first 4 trips we ever did to Disney. It was so much cheaper. But you do have to factor other things in. Obviously, we didn't get the dining plan, so we had to factor in food, spending money for food. Well, I didn't. My parents did. Obviously, own transport, parking in the parks, which is ridiculous. It's like $20 or just under $20 per day. So consider that if you want to stay off-site. You can definitely save a lot of money staying off-site, but then costs creep up in terms of dining if you don't have a dining plan, transport and parking costs. Number 2 is to buy your Disney merchandise outside of the parks. In Disney World, in Disney stores in general, in Disney Springs for the most part, any sort of Disney specific store, it's going to be expensive. And you can go to places, I mean, we went into Target and they had so many pieces of merchandise that you could find similar things for in Disney World at significantly cheaper prices. If you're from the UK, you can go to Primark and you can get t-shirts and bags and things like that. A good recommendation though, if you are looking to buy Disney merchandise within Walt Disney World, is Uniqlo. If you want Disney clothing, head to Uniqlo in Disney Springs, because I bought an amazing Monsters Inc. t-shirt from there and it was like $14, I think, which was about half the price of the shirts that you will find actually in the parks. So it was a really good deal, and it was a bit more unique. You don't really find it anywhere else. And it was really cute as well. Number 3 is to buy gift cards whilst you're there or beforehand. And this is just a good way to help you kind of limit your spending. If you have a budget, then you know, like, you can only spend the money on that card. I know what a lot of people do at Food and Wine, for example, is if they don't have the dining plan, they will put, I don't know, $100 or however much they want on there to kind of limit their spending, and they will use that entire amount at Food and Wine. So it means they don't go over their budget, and that's a great way to kind of keep your costs down and not go too over the top with your spending, because you can get a bit carried away in Disney. And those gift cards as well can be used at any Disney store. It doesn't have to be Disney specific. It can be Sephora in Disney Springs. It can be the World of Disney. It can really be absolutely anything as long as it's on Disney property. Number 4 is more specific to international travellers who maybe don't want to carry around a lot of cash with them, and this is to do with credit cards. If you're planning on using a credit card in Disney World, then just make sure that you won't get charged for using that card abroad. I mean, if you're not bothered by getting charged by it, then go ahead and use it. But for a lot of credit cards, when you use them abroad, you will get charged a specific fee, or I'm not 100% sure, but you will get charged a fee for paying in dollars, and then that just adds costs and increases everything, and it just is annoying. Number 5 is to utilise the refillable mugs. This is my refillable mug from last year, and this is more so for people who either are on the dining plan or who are there for a long time. And why I say those two things, one, if you're on the dining plan, you get this for free, so it really doesn't matter. I think if you're on the dining plan, it doesn't matter if you use it a lot or not, because it is included. You can fill this up as much as you want in any of the resorts. There's so many soft drinks, there's hot drinks as well, and you just have unlimited refills of this. You can't use them in the parks, unfortunately, but I do have a tip for that in a second. Second point, if you're staying for a longer period of time, I would say 10 days or more, but really just whatever you class as a longer period of time, they're probably good value for money. These will cost, if you're not on the dining plan, at $17.99 throughout your entire stay. This is at one resort. If you're resort hopping, staying at different resorts, probably not going to be worth it. But if you're staying in one resort for like 10 days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, probably worth it. If you're only there for, say, 4 or 5 nights, I know a lot of US guests only stay there for a shorter period of time, it's probably not worth it, because I mean, we did utilise it, but we didn't go back constantly and really get our money's worth for it. But I would say long time there or Disney dining plan, use it. Number 6 is more useful for when you're actually in the parks, and this is to do with water. I mean, we always took a bottle of water with us. I just think it's good to have it with you to stay hydrated, because it's hot in Florida and you can get dehydrated. But a great way to stay hydrated in the Florida heat for free is to go up to a quick service location and just ask for a cup of water, a cup of iced water, and they will give it to you for free, and that will keep you hydrated. We didn't do this just because we had a lot of credits to use and we got drinks with every meal and everything, but especially if you're not on the dining plan or you're just thirsty, this would be a great thing to do to keep yourself hydrated. I'm not entirely sure if it tastes like normal Florida tap water, which in my opinion is disgusting, but it will keep you hydrated and it's safe to drink. They wouldn't give it to you otherwise. So it's a good idea if you're looking to reduce costs, because a bottle of water in Disney I think is about $2.50, and you can get pretty much the same thing from a quick service for free. So go to the quick service locations. Number 7 is, if you're not on the dining plan, consider taking your own food and drink, as I kind of mentioned before, into the parks with you. They don't have kind of many limitations on the food and stuff you can take in. I'm sure they wouldn't allow you to take certain things through, but you can take like sandwiches and crisps and cold pizza and cereal bars and things like that, and it's just going to be significantly cheaper from the prices in the parks. Obviously, if you want to try the food in the parks, then that's another thing, and the food in the parks is incredible, so I would recommend it. But if you are looking for a few days to save a bit of money here and there, then it's a great way to kind of get around that and not spend so much money, because it's blooming expensive. And ordering from sites like Garden Grocer, which actually deliver to Walt Disney World, will also help to keep your costs down there. You can get pretty much anything from there, big cartons of milk, loads of bottles of water, so much food, and again, it's significantly cheaper than Disney. I think they do charge for delivery, or you have to spend over a certain amount, but definitely look into that if you don't have a dining plan and you want to save a bit of money. If you do, however, want to try the food at Disney World, then tip number 8 might be a bit useful for you. I would 100% recommend sharing meals. We were on the dining plan and we still shared meals because we could not eat it all. It is so much food, especially coming from the UK, where portions are in general considerably smaller than what you're getting at Disney. It's too much food. Some great places where there's going to be massive portions which you can share between 2 or 3 people are places like La Cantina de San Angel, and Flame Tree Barbecue has big portions, Tangerine Cafe. There's so many different places, and hopefully I'll have more of an idea of that when I go this year, because we are planning on sharing quite a few meals with like quick service stuff. Number 9 is to consider what attractions you do and don't want to do anywhere. For us, when we go, we do Disney and we love doing Universal. We love Universal so much, and I don't think we would forgo it unless it was a shorter trip. So when you're looking at it, just consider, you know, what's essential for us to do. You know, we want to do Disney, but do we want to do Universal? Do we want to spend, with the cost now, like another £220 on a 2-week ticket? Is going to SeaWorld or Busch Gardens or the Kennedy Space Centre, or even shopping, is that something that you desperately have to do, or can you save that money and not go to them? For us, we go to Disney and Universal because that's what we enjoy. We love all the parks there. We're not too bothered with the other ones. I do like Busch Gardens, but the other ones I'm genuinely not bothered with anymore. So obviously it's just going to save a lot of money if maybe you don't do Discovery Cove this one time, or you don't go to Legoland. Does anyone go to Legoland? Especially if you have like a 2-week ticket at Disney, if you can utilise that throughout those 2 weeks and just stay in Disney, it's going to reduce your costs massively. Obviously, if there's something that you want to do outside of the Disney parks, then go ahead and do it. But just consider what's worth that money and what's not. And if you do want to go outside of Disney, or you just want to get around Disney quicker, you don't want to use their buses and you don't have a car, then consider using Uber. Obviously you can use taxis, but I would say unless your group is quite big, to skip taxis and go straight to Uber, because it is significantly cheaper. Last year there were 5 of us and there was no way we would have gotten an Uber with 5 of us, I can imagine. So we always ordered taxis, and from Saratoga Springs to Universal Studios it cost us usually in the region of £30 to £40. That includes the tip. And I've seen a lot of people get Ubers and it costs about £13–14. So it's so much cheaper. You don't have to tip on top of that, I believe. I believe you can just give them a 5-star review and they'll be happy enough with that. I don't know, I've never used Uber before, but we're planning on using Uber this time because there's only the 2 of us. And I mean, I wouldn't feel comfortable going to get an Uber and there being like 4 of us getting in. It'd just feel a bit weird to me, but I think with 1 or 2 of you, it would be fine. And also I believe you can get your first, I think it's $15 off your first ride, so that's going to help us massively. And also if you recommend a friend, then they get $15 off their first ride and you get $15 again for recommending them. So fingers crossed we can get $35 off our trips in Orlando, because that would be really useful, and it just helps to save a bit of money here and there as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video and you found it useful. Maybe it will help you save a little bit of money here and there when you next go to Disney World or any Disney park or just anywhere. So give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe as well if you have enjoyed, and I'll see you guys on my next Disney video in 1 week time. Bye!